Good morning, parents and students. Hope you're doing well. This is a little bit more practice for doing what looks like a standard algorithm in the way it's laid out vertically. But we're using partial products in fourth grade. We'll get to standard algorithms in fifth grade. Be sure that you have four products for each equation. The ones times the ones times the tens times the ones, and the tens times the tens. So try and follow the sample that's given and do your best to be able to kind of explain to yourself how you're actually solving and working out the multiplication equation. Good luck. Here's some standard algorithms, how we write them out. But I want you to solve these using partial products only. You may know how to solve these using a standard algorithm because they're kind of arranged in the standard method. But it's really important that you understand using base 10. Okay, that's what we're focusing on in fourth grade. Base 10 methods. And later in fifth grade, you can prove that you can do these using the standard algorithm, but you still need to explain what you're actually doing in fourth grade. So this is week 23. These are some practice ones. And let me take this first one here. Let's see. Let me take a harder one. Maybe one that has more difficult multiplication. I'm not sure if this is the most difficult one. These two have 70 in it, so it has a 0 in the ones place up here. Let me take one of these that has the zeros in the ones place and show you how to do that. That can be a little bit intimidating. So we have four values in four different places. We have the ones, we have the tens, we have the ones, and we have the tens. So there's going to be four different products here. Okay, you're going to need four different products for each one of these values. So we're going to start with the ones over here. Some of you got maybe a little bit confused about where to start over here. Just like when we add or we subtract, we're going to start with the ones over here. When we start doing division, which we're going to get into in a little bit towards the end of the year, you're going to have division more in the fifth grade. You start with the larger place value and go to the smaller place value. When you multiply, just like addition, you start with the smallest place value and go to the larger. So let's look what we're going to do with this 0 over here. So we have 0 in the ones place and we have 4 in the ones place. So obviously our answer is going to be here in the ones place. And we're going to multiply 0 times 4. And if you know your property of 0, 0 times anything is going to be 0. Now I have my 0 times my 5 in my tens place over here. We're going to make a separate column for that because we need four different products in the bottom here. So I'm going to put my 0 for my tens place because remember this is 50. Okay, this is in the tens place over here. And then I'm going to multiply. 0 times 5 is 0. So this area right in here can be kind of complicated to think about doing in your head. But if you say, here's my ones place and here's my tens place, so here's the ones over here and here's the tens over here, you can see you have to add this 0 just to make it in the tens place. And then you do your multiplication, your values. And since 0 times anything is 0, it has no value, this could be a little bit complicated. So I'm kind of glad I chose this one first. You're going to come across something similar to that over in this problem over here. Now I'm done with my 0. So now I'm going to take my 7, which is in my tens place here. So I'm going to have to put a 0 here for my tens place. And now I'm going to multiply my 7 times my 4, or your 4 times your 7. Again, we aren't talking about areas or arrays or anything, so you can do this in either direction. And that is 28, because I know my multiplication skip counting. And I'm done with that. So here's 1, 2, 3. So I did my Ones times my ones times my tens times my ones. Now I'm going to do my tens times my tens. And if you remember, we said tens times tens equals hundreds. Okay, so this is going to wind up in the hundreds place because I got a 0 for my 70 and a 0 for my 50. So I'm just going to start out with my base 10, putting 2 zeros in here as place values for my hundreds. Now this could be in the thousands when I get over here, but these zeros hold my place value for hundreds in base 10. Now my 5 times my 7, I know my 5s times 7 is 35. There's my value, and then I add these up. So we're going to go from smaller numbers to larger numbers when we do our multiplication like this, because we're going from our smaller value over here to our larger value over here. So all zeros added up, it's the same property as our multiplying by 0 is 0. Here we have zeros plus 8, and we know that's going to be 8 because 0 plus any number is that actual number. That's another property of addition. We have our 5 plus our 2, which is 7. This is all first grade addition. And we have our 3 over here that's just kind of hanging out by itself. We're going to bring that down. And 70 times 54, which are two very large numbers multiplying by each other, is 3,780. So go ahead and use our example over here, or sample over here. Try and complete the other 5. We'll be tested at this sometime in the future, pretty soon. And I'm looking for you to fill out all 4 of the different products underneath, okay, our line here, using the partial products method only. Don't use any other method for now.